My parents demanded I drop out of college to save their failing bakery while funding my brother's big plans, so I walked away. Then, they called begging me to come back. Here's what I told them. Growing up, I was the responsible one. The one who swept floors at 8 years old. The one who worked the register at 12 while trying to finish homework in the back room. My brother Jacob, he slept until noon and played video games while I covered his shifts. My parents never saw a problem with this. Jacob was sensitive. Jacob needed time to find himself. Jacob had potential. I had responsibilities. When I got accepted to state on a partial scholarship for engineering, my parents barely acknowledged it. But when Jacob announced he wanted to start a clothing brand after dropping out of community college, they threw him a party. I was 19, halfway through sophomore year, when they called me home for a family meeting. The bakery was struggling. Equipment breaking down. Suppliers cutting them off. They needed someone to work full-time, for free. I looked at Jacob sprawled on the couch scrolling his phone. What about it? My dad actually laughed. Jacob is building his brand. We just invested $45,000 into his first inventory run. The number hit me like a punch. $45,000. Meanwhile, they told me 2 months earlier they couldn't help with my $800 monthly rent anymore. Said things were too tight. You gave him $45,000 but can't help me with rent? My mom jumped in immediately. That's different. That's an investment in his future. The bakery is family legacy, and my engineering degree isn't my future? Silence. And my dad crossed his arms. If you won't help this family when we need you, then maybe you shouldn't expect this family to help you either. There it was, the ultimatum. Drop out and work for free, or get cut off completely. I chose cut off. The next 2 years almost broke me. I picked up a second job at a warehouse, then a third doing overnight stocking at a grocery store. I slept maybe 4 hours a night between shifts and classes. Ate ramen so often I still can't look at it without feeling sick. My grades slipped. My social life disappeared. I remember sitting in the library at 2 in the morning, calculator in one hand, energy drink in the other, wondering if my parents even thought about me anymore. They didn't call, not once, but I watched Jacob on social media, posting photos of his new apartment downtown, his photo shoots, his influencer friends, all funded by the same parents who couldn't spare $800 for their other son. I almost quit 17 times, counted each one, but every time I wanted to give up, I pictured my dad's face when he gave me that ultimatum, like I was disposable, like my dreams were worth less than Jacob's delusions. I graduated with a 3.2 GPA in mechanical engineering. Not perfect, but I'd earned every decimal point with blood and sleepless nights. 2 weeks later, I got hired at a manufacturing firm. Starting salary, $72,000. The first paycheck felt like revenge. Then my aunt called. She'd always been the one family member who treated me like a person instead of a backup plan. I need to tell you something, she said. Your parents are going to hate that I'm calling, but you deserve the truth. Turns out Jacob's clothing brand was a complete disaster. He'd blown through the $45,000 in 6 months. Most of it went to Instagram ads, influencer partnerships, and a professional photo shoot where he posed in his own designs. He sold exactly 14 items total, mostly to family members, but that wasn't even the worst part. When the brand failed, my parents doubled down. Took out a second mortgage on the house to give Jacob another $30,000. Said he just needed more time, better marketing, a real chance. That failed too. The bakery closed 8 months ago. They'd been bleeding money trying to save both the business and Jacob's ego. Now they were 3 months behind on the mortgage with no income and no options. A week later, my mom called from a number I didn't recognize. Her voice was small, tired, nothing like the woman who'd watched me pack my things 2 years earlier without saying goodbye. We made mistakes, she whispered. I know that now, but we're still family. We're about to lose the house. We need your help, please. I sat there listening to her cry. Thought about every ramen dinner, every 4-hour night, every time I almost quit and had no one to call because my own parents had abandoned me for having boundaries. You had $45,000 for Jacob's fantasy, I said, keeping my voice steady. Then another $30,000 when that failed. You had $75,000 for his dreams, but you couldn't find $800 a month for mine. You made your choice 2 years ago. Now live with it. I hung up before she could respond.